I've been putting off making this video for a very long time, mainly because I needed a break from death and the concepts, all the concepts and thoughts surrounding death, having, as many of you will know, been immersed in it for quite some time through not through choice. And so I was putting this off in the hope that I would kind of get a bit more fresh about what I had to say, but now I am actually making it to honour the life and the support of Mark, who I actually initially met at YouTube and who sadly died in his sleep, from what we can gather at this juncture. Probably on Saturday. He was found on Sunday morning, which is immensely sad in many ways, and a real surprise. He was similar age to myself, and so it wasn't on the cards. There was nothing apparent to suggest that that was going to happen at all, and that pulled me up short, as I'm sure you can imagine, as regards to thinking about what we leave behind, which is what this video is all about. I am so glad for him that he died that way. I would rather he'd have hung around for longer, but I think that's the way he would have wanted to go. He was a fantastic support to me and wonderful friend during my mother's terminal illness and death, and after the event, and then sadly lost his own mother 3 months later. So there was he and I encountered a great deal of death during our friendship, in a very pragmatic and open way. I will always be grateful to him for what he gave me, and I think one of the things that one can see when someone has gone in really sort of sharp relief, not surprisingly, is just how much that person did give you. I think that the whole thing of us not realising what someone offers us, what someone gives us, appreciating who they really are, often that doesn't happen until they're no longer there, which is a terrible shame in a way. One of the things I think that he offered both me and others, and I suspect you will probably watch this, the person who I know, who contacted me and told me what had happened, is that despite appearances, he actually understood love very well. He was able to give what was asked for, rather than necessarily what he might have wanted, and that's a rare thing, I think. So the topic of this is obviously pertinent to that, but what we leave behind for those we leave behind is quite important, I think. It can go from one extreme to another. For example, my father died without a will, which is not terribly helpful, but it was very much in character and very much in keeping with who he was. Whereas my mother died making sure that everything was completely tidied up, that we had dealt with absolutely everything that lay between us, and she left me pages and pages and pages of her wishes. So, none of us know, and I mean, this really throws that point up, what has happened to Mark. None of us know, not one of us, when our time is up. It could be a long, long, long time, or it could be tomorrow, or later today even. We don't know. We just don't know, haven't got a clue. Some people, the only people who have a clue are people who are terminally ill. And even they don't know exactly. We can judge and measure a little bit by our age, but there's no guarantees with that either. And I know for myself that I want to leave behind for the people that I love and care for something that will help them and support them, and also enable them to perhaps carry out the wishes that I have beyond the grave. Now, one of the things that we have at our disposal these days, especially those of us who actually make videos on a regular basis, is the access to visual, digital media. Now, I intend, and I have reworked my will since my mother died, because things are obviously slightly different. So all that is in place, and my wishes are in place, and I also have made a death box, which sounds really creepy but isn't at all, which is for my children, which has just got some really, nothing of any value, but some really precious little bits and pieces that they might enjoy going through. Because, with my mother having waded through a whole house full of junk, it's really nice to know where something is. But it has also been my intention, and which I haven't got round to yet, and which I now absolutely must do, because, it could be my turn next, is to make a video for each of my children, saying the things that I want to say to them. And, we're very open, so this is not about sharing secrets that I've kept hidden. It's just about having something personal for each of them that they can watch when I've gone, that will speak directly to them and may be helpful. And of course there are all sorts of difficulties involved in that. For example, the fact I don't know how long I've got, the fact that I could easily live for, I could live for another 40 years or so. Who knows? You just don't know, do you? So I might make something now that will no longer be relevant. But then again, I might lose my marbles in a couple of years and not be able to. Or I might drop dead, next week. But it's something that can be updated. What I intend to do is put it on USB sticks, and one will be lodged with the solicitor along with my will, and the other will be left in my death box for my children, and which I can update as I go. So, bits can be added to it if necessary. And you might think, well, I don't want to be thinking about that. I don't want to be doing that. And if you're very young, perhaps it's just not relevant. Though, of course, we don't know. We just don't know when we're going. But that old saying, live every day as if it's your last. I don't probably live up to that as well as I should. Well, I know I don't, because there are things that I might have said to Mark had I had the opportunity to do so. Because it's not just about it being your last day, it's about being anyone who you come across's last day as well. We should keep our living in the moment is about so many different aspects of living, and this, the fact that we're all going to die is very much a part of that. Not leaving hidden agendas or hidden resentments or bitternesses that we don't face, or emotions that we are bottling up, or things unsaid. And one of the things that seems to happen a lot when people are terminally ill for their families is the families will not accept what's happening, and they will tell them that they will demand that the person doesn't leave them, and they won't want to talk about it, and they'll just avoid it. Denial is very much a part of the process. Well, for some people, I don't think it is for me. But that's so, then once that person's gone, you can't redo it. You can't go back. You have to accept the practical reality when somebody is dying. But for most of us, once we get to that stage, it's too late to prepare. It's too late to leave these nice little things that we might want to leave for our loved ones or whatever. So yes, I think that's adequate. But I know I'm speaking to somebody who's no longer with us, but thank you, Mark, for being a part of my life.